Okay, hi. Welcome to class
Hi,
for today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Um, so today we are going to be talking about the principles of design. I'm sure you can see it on your screen. Can you?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about the principles of design. So basically we have 7 to 8 principles, but I added my own little one to it because from my years of experience, I've come to see that it's better to have learning anything at all. So that was why, from that knowledge, I decided to add my own. So the very first one that we're going to be talking about is, I hope you're with your notebook.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so right topic. Today's date topic, principles of design.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, balance. Now, this balance, it refers to either you can have two types of balance in graphic design, and it refers to how the elements are placed in terms of their size, their color, and their texture. So in order to make your design balance, you have to make sure that if you have a particular color on one side, try and balance out with that color on the other side. Or if you have like a particular size, like a big size, you should try to have like also something big to balance out the other side. So there are two types of balance. One is symmetrical balance. What do I call it? What did I call the first one? Hello, are you with me? Hello? Hello? I think we lost her there. Okay. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, let's continue. Okay. So I was trying to talk about balance, and I said that balance refers to when you use your size, your color, and your texture to make sure that the design has equal elements placed on both sides. Like for example, now if you are holding a paper, you can fold it in the middle into two, right?
Yeah.
So when you fold
Yeah.
it, you have two halves, one on the
Yeah.
right and one on the left. Yes. So that is how you fold, that is how you consider any design you want to do. There is the right part and the left part. So if the design has the same things on two sides, it's called asymmetrically balanced. That's asymmetric balance. What did I call it?
A asymmetric balance.
Okay, sorry. If it has the two elements on two sides that are the same, it's symmetrical balance. While if it
Okay.
has different elements at different sections of the canvas, then it's called asymmetrical balance.
Asymmetrical.
Exactly. You're following along. Okay, so remember that I told you that also there are some designs that you do that the first thing you will not even think about is the kind of software. Is actually like your your thought process about the design. So when you are like considering yourself, like you want to start, like you want to make a design, there are two things. You look at your internal state of mind, and you look at like the out external, which is like you actually working on the system to make the design. So you have to like balance your internal state of mind. Like you have to be calm, be in like a good place, a happy mood, that kind of thing. Then your
Yeah.
designs tend to come out better. So that's it with balance. So let's now look at some of the examples that we can use for checking out balance in design. So I'm going to switch my page to my Google page. I've typed into Google a particular thing. So I'll change it now. Okay, you're seeing it already now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So, famous art pieces of Leonardo da Vinci. I'm sure you've heard of him before. Have you heard of him? Hello? Dora? Okay. Okay, so some famous works of Leonardo da Vinci. So I was asking if you have heard of him before.
Yes, I have.
Okay. So as you know, his works are very legendary for shaping not only the Renaissance days and but also in this our present day, we also use it as a form of inspiration for most of our designs and all of that. So if you look at this particular one, what kind of design will you call this? What kind of balance will you call this?
I would say it's a symmetrical because
Okay.
I'm seeing the same colors on both sides of the screen.
Of the screen, yes, that's very good. Also, you will notice that the same kind of objects,
Yeah, in terms of
the
humans, yes.
on the same side, and the kind of weight. This side, if you weight, it will kind of give you this one. So that is one. Let us look for another one again. Okay, something like this. This one here. What kind of symmetry is this?
I will say is asymmetrical.
Okay. Why?
Because elements, the kind of tree on the left is not the same as that on the right.
Okay.
Even though we have the same colors on both sides, the one on the left is quite different, or the image on the left is quite different. The one on the left is down, they're sitting down, while the person on the right is standing up. So they are different.
Okay. All right. So in art or in design, you take note of that. Just check asymmetric or symmetric balance.
Symmetric.
So if, for example, now you want to balance this out, there are several ways to do it. You can either put something that is as high as this or the same color, or let's see, what the same size, the same color, or the texture. That's the way it looks, the same thing. All right, so you understand balance. Let's move on.
Yes.
Okay, unity. Now, unity talks about harmony. Basically, they are used interchangeably. If you don't see unity, you will see harmony. So harmony basically talks about how the elements in the design, how they fit together. Because sometimes you might want to put a design and then you see that it's a bit too cluttered. You see that one size is like this, one is going this way, one is going another way again. You know, you don't see some flyers like that you just be like, what am I even looking at here? There will be so much elements going on. But unity talks about how everything fits together as a whole. So for instance, using similar colors that match and integrate elements organically makes it appear as if they belong together and are not just put on a page. You can achieve unity by making clear relationship between visual elements. Okay, so let's jump into our Google. Let's ask Google for harmony in art. Okay, now this page. I want to show you examples of harmony. Shouldn't look to me, if I wanted to pick one, let's say I would pick this one. I really like this. Reasons being that you can see different shades of blue, but at the same time, the message is still got across that, okay, there are sharks inside it. And at the same time, you can see other shades of blue. So for me, this is a good example of harmony. Let's see if I can do unity. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm following you.
Okay. All right. Unity in art. Okay. I will pick this one. Then I also like this one in that it's a sun and then there's a moon, and you know, like you can see the way the sun is round and then they like fit the moon inside it. Though they are different colors, they go together so well. The moon has its stars, the sun has its rays, and they fit together in unison. So though let me see.
So in other words, unity in design has to do with how everything complements each other.
Exactly, more. You are understanding. They must relate to each other in that it's either they are similar shapes, similar colors, or even if they are contrasting, they must have like a unified idea behind it that, okay, this is the same thing you are seeing. It's the same, but it's just in a different form, but they are all together, either in color, in shape, in maybe does this color, shape most of the time.
Okay.
Color and shape most of the time, yeah. So unity just talks about the harmony, just how everything fits together. That's basically it. Unity. Okay, let's jump right into the next thing. Contrast. Okay, so contrast refers to the level of difference between design elements in order to create visual hierarchy. So what I've noticed about contrast is that in there's usually like something that is like the object, and then there's something that should be like the background. It shouldn't be the major thing. There should be something that should be central to your design, and then there should be one that is like at the background. It's not so
Surrounds it.
obvious. Yes, it's not so obvious, but it's part of the design, but it's not the major thing. So when we talk about hierarchy talks about, from one step to another, to another, to another, to another. And we use a lot of, in fact, layers in designs, because sometimes you have to put some things at the back to make them look smaller and farther, or at the front for it to make it look bigger and closer. So the variation makes certain elements stand out more than the others. You can apply contrast by using color, texture, size, and shape. So in a layout, contrast is applied to create hierarchy between the front sizes. I think I've mentioned that larger text tend to be read before any smaller text. So I think I've mentioned it that you can put things at the back sometimes to make them look bigger, and there's some things in the front to make it more obvious. Okay. So that's just basically contrast, right?
Yep.
Emphasis. So emphasis talks about like repetition, but then you need like one thing standing out. Emphasis. You can use line, shapes, color, texture, or lines. Why is lines there twice? Anyway, lines, shapes, color, texture, and then you use one thing to make it stand out. For this one, the emphasis is on this blue color here. So all the rest are the same. One stands out. There's one particular picture that comes to mind when I'm thinking about this emphasis. It's like a ball kind of, then it was in like a pit of like black, and then there was just one red ball, in the middle. It just stood out so much. So let's see. Okay, this is an example here. You can see that the elements are similar, and then one stands out. This one. Look at this one. This one is for Coke. Isn't that so cool? It's like it's a smile, but then emphasis on the bottles. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it drives the point home. Just it stands out so that you can get the message across just once like that. So that's basically emphasis. Okay. This one is like all these creative designs. This is somebody's handle, and it's painted as a fish, and then this is somebody's hand also painted as a whale. But I think the emphasis should be on marine life or sea creatures or something like that. Probably is an advert for them. So it's just to get that attention because it's so different. And this is it in text form. I'm sure you have seen a lot of text like this. She's broken, but then you see he's okay inside.
Okay.
Again. So you can also check for several other ones, but I'm sure you've gotten the point. So let's move on to the next thing. Repetition. So repetition is important both in design and also in learning. A lot of times, I always ask students to repeat so that I'm sure that they are in the same place with me, because, I'm here because of you. And I wouldn't want a situation where you are way behind and I'm on another page, or something like that. So
Yeah.
you always have to repeat things, even if you're even doing like adverts sometimes for programs and projects and stuff. Sometimes you have to repeat it on and on and on again for the person to or for the point to be gotten by whoever is receiving it.
Yeah.
And in graphic design, our basic objective is to communicate with whoever is coming across our work. You understand? We are trying to tell them something. We are trying to let them know that, okay, this is an offer that they can take, or this is an information that is important to them. This is a celebration that they need to attend. This is a book that they need to read. This is, documents that they need to go through and all of that. So repetition is in the form of when you use a single element to create a design. Now, there are very common ones. If you look at, there's this lady that she's an artist. What's that her name again? Yoko something. She's the queen of polka dots. Queen of polka dots. Yoko. Google know what I'm talking about. Ha! This is the lady I'm talking about. The queen of polka dots. Her name is Yayoi Kusama. Yes, Yayoi Kusama. That's her name. So let's look at some of her work. Remember that we are talking about repetition in design. So let's look at some of her work. She actually became famous at the age of 80 something. All her life she has been doing the same design. And it was just when she got to this age that she started like blowing up. I don't know if you've ever noticed the Louis Vuitton bag. If you've seen those polka dots on it, I'm sure we will even see it. Time is running out. So we have 10 minutes more for this class. Then we'll continue tomorrow. But I'm going to give you a class work before we go. So let's quickly go through some of her work. This one here, this is that Louis Vuitton. This is the head office that she worked with them on. So she just works all her life. She just paints dots. See this one? See what she even wears. She just wears dots. She makes her life very simple. She goes to her studio. She makes big, huge polka dotted designs. She creates like illusion rooms. Okay, see this one. Everything in the room is like dotted. That's repetition. She just uses it consistently. She just uses it, just goes wrong. So when you enter this room, you have an experience that you have never experienced before, because you're in a place that is just new to your mind. So it will bring out, your creativity. It will make you reason differently. It will make you think differently. That wow. So somebody can use. Okay, look at this one. This one is not even like polka dots, 100% polka dots. There's one big dot, and then there are like lines or worms or something like that, and so there are so many things that you can do with that alone. Like you just keep repeating the same design just to get a particular design out of it. Out of everything, you create small patterns, give you a bigger one. See this tree, Seth. See this tree. So this one is for outside exhibition now. So imagine if you are going to a museum and you see this tree, won't you take a picture? You quickly take a selfie beside it, won't you?
Sure. Yes, I will.
Mm-hmm. So that's what repetition is about. So very briefly, let's just recap. I want you to just quickly take me through what we have been saying from the beginning. So now I can give you your homework.
Okay. Today's class has to do with. I just want to confirm. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm with you loud and clear.
All right. So today's class has to do with fundamentals of design. and
Okay.
we started with balance.
Yeah.
Just as the name implies, balance, just making
I can't hear you again.
sure we have